Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Way Too Late Game Review. The idea behind the show is that we're pretty much going to review the games that we finish here on the backlog. So the first game that we played and finished was Super Mario Galaxy. Danny and I talked a little bit about how I viewed this game after I finished it, but I really want to go kind of deeper and get you guys to understand the breakdown of how I reviewed the game and what I really thought of it. So each game is going to receive a score from 1 to 10 in 4 areas: graphical content, story, gameplay mechanics, and music and sound. At the end, I'm going to average up all those scores and then give an overall review. So with all the rules laid out, let's jump right into it. So we're going to talk about the graphics in Super Mario Galaxy. Let's not fool anyone. It's a Mario game, so you're not going to have super ultra realistic high-res graphics out of this game. That being said, the game does look beautiful. All the colors pop, it's very vivid, everything is crisp and up to the standard that you would expect from a Mario game. All of the galaxies are very varied, and each one has a unique feel based on the color choices and art, and acts as a cohesive device to help deliver a feeling, a specific feeling, for that galaxy. I can't really think of a bad thing to say about how the game looks, so I give it a 9 out of 10 on graphics. Now, as far as the story goes in Mario Galaxy, I'm not really going to go into a huge amount of detail with what the actual story was. We did just do a whole playthrough of the game, so if you haven't watched it, you can click this box right here. There's a box right here. Just click on it. It'll take you to the playlist. You can watch all of it. Now, I'll wait. Okay, now that you're back, what the heck was up with that story? Don't get me wrong, most of the story is pretty much the same for any Mario game. Princess gets kidnapped by Bowser, gotta go save her. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Nintendo's always kind of stood by that principle, especially with their Mario game. But this one, they kind of stepped outside of the box with some stuff, and it got a little weird. No one really plays a Mario game to get a fulfilling story, but since story is a area that we're critiquing for judgment, I'll say some stuff about it. Who's Rosalina? Where does she come from? Why does she care so much about the stars? Is she some intergalactic star goddess that's saving the universe? Why does she care to help Mario save Princess Peach? None of these things are answered in the story. So for those, I'm going to give the story a 7 out of 10. Now, gameplay mechanics. This is why we choose to play Mario games. This is the main course that Nintendo really puts forth when they say you're going to have a Mario as a meal. If you catch what I'm going for there. So the big mechanic in this game was the altered gravity. The idea of giving each planet its own gravitational pull, no matter how small, it was really, really intriguing. When you jump from planet to planet, and using the launch stars to fly between them, it's really fun. It's a really, really fun mechanic. So the only downfall is that every now and then the camera will just freak out, and it's really hard to play. This only happened a couple of times in our playthrough, but when it did happen, it was kind of annoying. The game is very fun to play. Mario seems very responsive and fast. He's got a plethora of ways to attack, and it seems like the levels are laid out in a way that's pretty much easy to navigate, and you can accomplish the goal you have for your star, for the star that you're attempting. So this game gets a 10 out of 10 for gameplay. Mario games, since the beginning of Mario, have always had catchy and memorable music scores. Who can't hum most of the Mario Brothers soundtrack from memory, and who doesn't get a smile on their face anytime they hear the overworld theme from Super Mario World? My point is that these traditionally Mario games have had amazing soundtracks. In comparison, Super Mario Galaxy falls short a little bit. There are times in the game when you collect the music notes and you hear rehashed or remade versions of older songs, and those are rare treats in the game. Now, before you start complaining about nostalgia crippling my view on this, let me just say that to this day, I still can't tell you how any of the songs sound in Super Mario Galaxy from memory. Now, being catchy or memorable isn't the only way to judge a game's score. Every track in this game does seem to mesh well with the artistic style of each galaxy, and it provides a cohesive experience that's very enjoyable. I can't think of any song where that's not the case, really. So, Super Mario Galaxy gets a 7 out of 10 for music. So if I've done my math correctly, the overall score for Mario Galaxy is 8.25 out of 10. This game was very enjoyable, and if it's on your backlog, I highly recommend moving it up to or near the top of your list. You will not regret making time to play this game.